Oh, man, I'm so excited for this one, by the way. Argentina against Mexico. The Latin American battle right here, Saturday, November 26th at Lusail Iconic Stadium. Kickoff is at 2 p.m. Eastern. Argentina eliminated Mexico in 2006 and 2010. That was a controversial Carlitos Tevez goal, of course. They have a good record against El Tri at the World Cup as well. This is the Tata Martino derby, essentially, basically. So it's going to be really intriguing to see how this one goes. Argentina, by the way, if you haven't been following, they didn't lose a single game in the qualifiers in Conmebol. Of course, they still have to play that game against Brazil, but undefeated in 31. Lionel Scaloni has done ridiculous things. They no longer have Messi dependencia. They no longer just rely on Messi. In fact, Lautaro Martinez is probably their biggest threat. This is going to be a fun game, man. A fun game. James Bench, Argentina against Mexico. I can't wait for this one.
Well, I mean, it's really weird because it feels like it, like you kind of say, it should be happening in the last 16 because it always happens in the last 16.
Right.
And can we sub Nigeria in so that we can have our every 4 years our
bring back JJ Okocha.
Nigeria group stage game that we are. I thought it was a contractual part of a World Cup that those two have to play. No, I think you're right, Luis. And I mean, when I've been doing my power rankings, I've had Argentina in the top 4 every time. The difference between this team and the teams that have flattered to deceive, it's really in that defense for me. Emi Martinez has established himself both at the Premier League and with the Argentinian national team as a player that lives for the biggest moments. I've got no doubt that, if there's a penalty shootout in the knockout stages, but even if there's a big moment in the group stages, he'll deliver. Christian Romero as well. Phenomenal centre back.
Yeah.
And that's the point, is then if you've got solid foundations and if you've got a team where the attacking game plan is slightly more than just give to Messi and hope, that's a really good team. And like you say, they finally, much too late, they finally found strikers to surround Messi, like Lautaro, someone that relishes playing with Messi. It's not a Dybala, it's not Higuain, it's not Aguero. It fits, and it looks like a good team. As for Mexico, Mike will know better than me. From what I saw from CONCACAF, it was fine. It was I don't think they've got anything to excite me, and I think it's a great game because they've got great players, but Tata Martino has a lot of work to do in a short space of time.
I think this will be the type of group game that tells us more about what type of Argentina team do we have than it will tell us about Mexico. With Mexico, let's start with them. Seen a bunch of them in CONCACAF. I'm not too high on this Mexico team. They don't have their best players in the camp, forget even going to the World Cup potentially. Tata Martino came out with a word on Javier Chicharito Hernandez, who cannot stop scoring goals in Major League Soccer and looks rejuvenated. And he said, there might not be any space for him on this team. Culturally, it's a bunch of baloney. It's a bunch of churipan for me. And I don't get it. I don't get what's going on behind the scenes for Mexico, because when you qualify for the World Cup, if you look at the body of work, creativity in the final third, this is a Mexican national team that struggled to score goals at home. Azteca was no longer a fortress. The USMNT did not come in fearing getting a result at Azteca. They came in actually playing their strongest team to get a win. That tells you that there's a shift in CONCACAF, that the fear factor of playing the Mexican national team is slowly eroding. And when you go into the World Cup, you need to bring back your strongest players. Carlos Vela, he can still bang him in. Although he's not playing at the elite clubs in Europe anymore, he's still one heck of a player. If you can convince those two players to come back, maybe get Jonathan Dos Santos or both Dos Santos brothers, those are experienced players that can now flesh out this Mexican national team and give their attack some meat and some strength. Now for Argentina, yes, their back line, you talk about Christian Romero, who's having a very good season for good old Tottenham. I look at Nicolas Otamendi. He's had a quality season silently in Benfica because not a lot of the Portuguese league gets the attention it deserves. And we've seen him in Champions League against Ajax. I thought he was excellent in that tie across 2 legs, especially in Amsterdam. And I look in the midfield. That's where the strength of this team really lies. It's always lied. No Mascherano, as we saw in 2014. Enter Rodrigo de Paul. and Giovanni Lo Celso. Lo Celso is having an amazing second half of the season. And Benji, I want to apologize to you. You said something in a previous show months ago. Yeah, I know I don't do it often. So I know I see you straightening it up. You said Lo Celso could be the next Fabregas, and he's very well playing like a Cesc Fabregas for this Villarreal team. And I just hope
I would have said that about a Tottenham player. But
I know.
I know. You said it. My job. Literally, I was gobsmacked. I was gobsmacked, man. But what I've seen from him over the last 4 matches in the Champions League, this guy is becoming the star that everyone hoped he could be in Argentina. And I think if the play of him and Rodrigo de Paul, who was my man of the match in the Copa America finals, if they can continue their form in Lo Celso and Rodrigo de Paul can rediscover his form, that adds an extra layer, dynamic layer to this Argentina attack.
Yeah, a few things. Number one, in terms of the Mexico thing, I can't even agree more to this. I've been talking about Chicharito and Carlos Vela to come back to this Mexican national team for more than just one reason. First of all, Chucky Lozano is not a finisher. He's a creator. Tecatito Corona is not a finisher. He's a creator. Raul Jimenez, I love him, but unfortunately, ever since that injury, he has really become a little bit of a different striker, a little bit more apprehensive, a little bit more conservative. I hate to say that about him because I love him. And also, he's a little limited when you don't have the productivity. What Mexico needs is a dirty, I don't care how I score kind of player. I'm just going to put my body in it, and that's Javier Hernandez. That's Chicharito. So it surprises me a lot. Obviously, there's a long time between now and November. We'll have to see. By the way, Mexico's has some good friendlies going up, leading up to the World Cup. Guatemala, Nigeria, Uruguay, Paraguay, Ecuador as well. Should be some very good fixtures as well that can help the Mexican national team. From Argentina's perspective, I just want to let everybody know in that 31-match unbeaten run, they really only played one European team. One, Germany, and that was a while ago in a friendly. I want to see what they do against European competition as well to see if they're the real deal. But I'm with James Bench. I have them in my top 4 as well, just scraping on 4th. But this is going to be a fun game. And I think a lot can happen between now and, of course, November. Quick predictions on this one, James Bench. Give me a scoreline.
2-0 to Argentina.
Love it. Michael?
I'm going to say, I know El Tri fans, you're going to just eat me alive for this. 3-0 Argentina. I think Mexico is in that big of trouble. I'm not convinced about this Mexican national team. I wasn't convinced about them in CONCACAF qualifying. Yes, they came in second, but I think it's really down to the fact that USMNT did just enough to get to Qatar, excuse my Sierra Leone accent. And I think Argentina, they're going to smell blood in the water, and they're really going to go for it to make a statement.